Hi, everyone. Welcome to the very first episode of our podcast, The Talent Equation, where we dive into all things workforce, talent, and the ever evolving world of staffing. And in today's episode is going to be about Mythbusters, and we're tackling some big misconceptions in the staffing industry from both the client and the candidate's perspective. And to help us separate facts from fiction, is April Szlaga. April is the Vice President at Abacus Service Corporation. She has been an industry veteran with over 25 years in experience in both staffing and workforce solutions. Welcome, April.
Thanks, Naveen. Really excited to be here and have this conversation. We definitely have a lot to discuss, so let's dive right in.
Yes, April. Thank you so much. So coming to the first misconception, April, and I think so. It's a very pretty common one. There's a belief that companies only turn to staffing companies when they are struggling to fill positions on their own. Is this true?
Not at all, Naveen. I mean, I think that's really one of the biggest misconceptions out there. So sometimes companies do come to staffing companies when they're having a tough time finding the right candidates. But really, more often than not, they're looking for specialized help. Staffing companies have access to a really broad talent pool, and we're able to help clients save time by tapping into candidates they might not reach otherwise. In fact, about 73% of companies use staffing services to find highly specialized talent quickly.
Wonderful. So it's more to do about expertise and efficiency of a staffing that the staffing firm brings in, then and allows the companies to concentrate on the core businesses.
Exactly. Companies streamline the hiring process, especially for niche or high skill positions. And they're just not filling the gaps, but providing strategic solutions to make hiring more effective. So while that company can focus us on their core strengths, we focus on ours, which is recruiting.
Now let's switch gears and talk a little bit on the candidate side of things. One big myth or misconception that I often hear that staffing companies only offer temporary or entry level roles. What's your take on that?
Yeah, that's a myth we see a lot as well. While staffing companies do offer temporary positions, especially for clients with seasonal needs or maybe somebody's out on medical leave, that's really only part of the story. Most companies like ours also specialize in full-time roles. So anywhere from executive and highly skilled positions to other like manufacturing positions. We really place people in roles across all levels. So IT, administrative, engineering, light industrial, and many more.
So it sounds like it's more of a perception that it's all about temporary low level work is absolutely outdated.
100%. I mean, most candidates start with contract positions and then do get hired in as full-time permanent permanent positions within that company. It's a foot in the door, and for some candidates, it's really a fast track to the perfect job for them.
Great insight so far, April. Thank you so much. Now, here's another one on the candidate perspective, which has often been asked. You know, how do the staffing companies get paid for the services?
I'm glad you asked this question. I think that we hear a lot of different misconceptions on this. Candidates will call and say, well, what do I have to pay? And candidates should never have to pay anything to work with a reputable staffing company. We earn our fees from the companies looking to hire our clients, not from the job seekers. So this means that candidates can access job opportunities, get professional guidance, and even receive resume tips and interview coaching at no cost.
So it's a value add for the candidates and all the support that Abacus offers or any other staffing firm like Abacus is absolutely free.
Exactly. We're really here to bridge the gap between talent and opportunity. And we do that by helping both candidates and companies find the right fit without the added cost to the candidate.
Again, switching gears over here, April, moving to the client side of things. And this is something that I heard most of the time that staffing companies don't focus on culture fits. There's a belief that companies are more focused on filling roles quickly rather than finding the candidate who fits their company's culture. Can you break this down for us too?
Absolutely, Naveen. This is really another big misconception. Any reputable staffing company will tell you that a candidate fit within a company's culture is key to successful placement. We're just not looking at the resumes and the skills on that resume, but we take time to understand our clients' work environments, values, and their team dynamics. That way, we're not only providing talent with the right skills, but also somebody who's going to thrive in that specific environment. We have a team of client relationship managers here at Abacus that manage clients, and they really get to know the client. That's through talking to the hiring managers, HR, procurement, and then they really also talk to our candidates who've interviewed there and who work there to get a true feel for that culture. And then we take that on and we apply that when to our recruiters when they're finding the candidates.
Hmm. So it's really a partnership where you're trying to align candidates with the company's culture, vision, mission, etc.
Exactly. It's part of our commitment to quality placements. A candidate might have the right technical skills, but if they don't align with the company's culture, they're unlikely to be successful long term. And that's why we take culture and compatibility into account just as much as the experience and skills of the candidate.
Yes. April, again, I'm sure you're working, Abacus has a huge list of clients that they're currently working with. So how do you understand each company's culture, the way they work, vision, mission, and how is it translated to the recruiters, and how do they find the right candidate?
Again, like I mentioned, we have a team of client relationship managers, and they are assigned by client. So they handle a portfolio of clients, and it's their job to really wrap their arms around each client and understand them. And there's various ways that they do that. It's through talking to hiring managers, procurement, our reps that work there. And they do that in conjunction with talking to people that we have working there, our contract employees. Also, they talk to candidates after interviews and get a feel for interview questions and managers and all of those things. And they take that and they really build a portfolio for that client, and then that's shared with the recruiting team. And that's something that's constantly evolving and done because companies change and their culture, well, it's the basis for their company, it does change. And it even can change from manager and department as well.
So basically, each and every client have a dedicated set of CPMs, recruiters who understand the company in and out, and that's how they, they might be acting like, what do you call, what's the right word? A representative of the
Experts.
company.
Yeah, I mean, they're experts of that client, really, within our company. And that's their job to know that client in and out.
Wonderful, Nicole. Thank you. Good to know what how Abacus does goes
Of
about this business.
course.
Again, another misconception, and I think so it's a pretty big one, that some people again think that staffing companies are only focused on the bottom line, and it's all about numbers, 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 not relationships. What do you have to say about that, and how does Abacus work around this?
I hear this a lot, and it couldn't be further from the truth, especially in today's market. Of course, like any business, we have goals to meet, but our success depends on the satisfaction of our clients and candidates. So we're built on long term relationships, and we thrive when both sides feel valued and well served. So it's a bit of a balance. I think sometimes you have clients that are always looking at cost savings, if they have candidates that are looking for more money. And here at Abacus, we take both into account and find a middle ground that works for both parties. Well, actually, all three parties. If you're talking about the client, the candidate, as well as Abacus.
So it's in your best interest to focus on quality and building trust relationship, right, April?
Of course. I mean, we're really invested in the success of our placements because every positive outcome strengthens our reputation. And that deals with money too, right? So saving the money for the client, cost savings, the candidate, and Abacus. And we try to keep everyone happy because that reduces turnover. And as we know, a high turnover rate or an unhappy client doesn't benefit us. That's why Abacus really goes the extra mile to ensure the right fit for the client and support candidates in making informed career moves.
All right, thank you, April. Again, there's another misconception that came out in our, someone reached out to us on a social media platform, and it's from a candidate point of view, which says a great resume equals to a great hire. Is it true?
No. So there's so much more than the candidate skills. It's those are the technical skills, or what they've done in their past jobs, their experience, their education. But it's also the soft skills, the communication, the team being a team player and things like that. So that's why recruiters really have to focus on both. And here at Abacus, what we've done is we've developed a employee engagement group. And what this group does is, I kind of call it like a fit check, right? They actually come after the recruiters, and they're not screening on the technical skills because that's the recruiter's job. But they're really coming in and just making sure that those other skills and that culture really are a fit for that client, and truly making sure that candidate is really interested in the job. They understand the terms of the contract, whether it's just temp to perm, and they really make sure of that. And then after that, we submit to the client.
So basically, what Abacus or your organization Abacus does is does a multi-factor or multi-levels of evaluation, not only on the technical skills but on all the various factors before it's actually submitted or presented to the client.
Of course, because we need to make sure that that candidate really is the right fit. And to do that, we feel the best approach is to have a two-part interview process. And we really have found since we've implemented that, our numbers internally have increased, and the number of interviews, the number of starts, and we've decreased the number of declines at our clients as well.
Wonderful. Yeah, obviously, when all checks, everything is checked, then you're bound to have less dropouts. Conception that I hear quite a bit basically is internal hiring is always cheaper.
No, definitely not, because there's so many costs when you look at an internal hire. It's not just, okay, the rate that they're being paid, but there's also the cost of benefits. There's the cost of employer taxes, PTO, vacation, any mandates that each individual state has, as well as your overhead, right? So it is not cheaper. I think you can look at it kind of like a try before you buy situation when you use contract staff, especially when you're looking to hire temp to perm. You can really make sure that that candidate is the right fit. And to piggyback off of that, actually, another misconception that I hear, and actually I just heard it yesterday from a client, was does this candidate know that they won't be receiving benefits? And that is not true at all. So, yes, they will not be receiving benefits from our client where they will be working, but Abacus does have a very robust benefit program, both medical, dental, vision, as well as short term, long term disability, life insurance, so many more positive benefits that we can offer our candidates. In fact, I've even heard for some clients that the benefits we offer are better than their internal ones as well. So that's really a big misconception that staffing companies don't offer that full benefit portfolio.
Thank you, April. And adding on to another misconception from the candidate side of things is permanent or regular employees or regular staff are treated much better than the contract employees. They feel like an outcast. So
Yeah,
what is
I definitely hear that, Naveen. And it's really frustrating because I think for candidates, right, they are sitting on site sometimes or even remote, right, at the client location. And they're not part of that client, right? And they don't feel part of Abacus either, right? Because they don't talk to us every day, they don't see us every day. And, that's something that we have worked really hard to make that contract employee feel part of something. So here at Abacus, it starts from the moment they first talk to a recruiter. It's that entire candidate experience that they have. And we really make sure that we have frequent communication between the recruiter, the client relationship manager, onboarding staff throughout that entire process. And then once they start, our employee relations team takes over from really before day one. And they're contacting that candidate, making sure, you know what, you're ready to go day one. And then when they start and they become an employee of ours, we do a daily check in the first few days, a check in after a week, and then from there, monthly. They have monthly check ins that are really conversational to make sure there's no issues. We try to give advice on work issues, and we really become almost friends with that candidate. In fact, one of our relationship managers, Megan, she says sometimes I feel like a counselor, a therapist, a best friend. So we start there. But from there, we move to other areas, right? We actually, within 2 weeks of start, we sent an Abacus gift bag full of swag and a small gift card. Thank you for choosing Abacus. We understand there's a lot of staffing companies in the market, and we are glad that you chose us. And then from there, we also have different awards. If a client were to come to us and say, you know what, this person's really doing a great job, we not only will give them a client satisfaction award or something like aligned to that, but we'll also send them a small gift card as a token of appreciation. We'll enter them into our monthly Contractor of the Month program. We also do different things for birthdays, anniversaries, holiday time, and I think all of those things, in terms of really reaching out to these candidates, make them feel like they are a part of something.
Thank you, April. So it sounds like Abacus not only celebrates its contract or temp workers, but also rewards and recognizes throughout their journey that they are associated with you.
100% yes.
I have one more, April, which once the contract comes to an end or once the contract is over, the staffing companies do not contact or find them an alternate job opportunities. What's your take on that?
That's not correct either. We actually have a team here at Abacus whose job is just that. They're looking for candidates of ours that are working at clients whose contract are coming to an end. Sometimes, clients do end up extending that contract, which is great. We love when that happens. But if that doesn't happen, then we begin looking for another position for them because it benefits both us and our contract employee. If we can get them working quickly at another one of our clients, that makes them happy, and then we're making our client happy as well.
Mhm. This has been an incredible insight, April. Thank you so very much for shedding lights on this common and sometimes big misconceptions that are both on the candidate and the client side. And before we wrap up this, any last thoughts that you'd like to share?
Yeah, just like staffing companies are here to support growth for not just our clients, but for our candidates. And really, by challenging these myths, we hope more people feel comfortable using staffing companies like Abacus as a resource. Whether they're looking to hire or searching for a new opportunity, we're here to support in all parts of the process.
Well said, April. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you to all our listeners for tuning in. This series dives deep into common misconceptions within the staffing industry, and we are here to provide you clarity on all questions. If there is a topic or a myth that you like to be addressed, reach out to us. Our credentials will be given below, and who knows, maybe even we can feature your question with your name in the upcoming episodes. So stay tuned for more insights, and let's continue to debunk this myths together. If you find this episode helpful, useful, please make sure to like, share, and follow the Talent Equation for more industry insight. Until next time, thank you everyone.